Welcome to another episode of Drunken Ramblings of a Sober Mind. I'm Jimmy.
I'm Garen.
Today's topic is going to be all about drinking.
Hell yeah.
Here we go. Hey, Garen, hit it.
Hit it.
All right, so drinking. That's a topic all on its own.
I don't know anything about it, so.
Me neither. I may need a cold beer here in a minute. Okay, so I did a little bit of research, yet again, because that's kind of what I do. My wife was doing makeup, and I was like, what better time to do research than not watch my wife do makeup? So I did a little bit.
Very valid point.
Right. Did a little bit of research, and I didn't just go with the United States. I went worldly. I got intercontinental, if you will.
Well, there's other cultures that, I guess, drink better than Americans. Like Germans, for instance.
I don't know who drinks better. I don't think there's really a better drinker, to be honest with you. Typically, Americans, beer, liquor, wine. I didn't really get much on wine because it's kind of a hit and miss. My wine's better than yours. My nose is higher up in the air than yours is. So, but I went, like I said, intercontinentally, and I started looking up the most drank alcohol in the world, and it's called Baijiu. It is apparently consumed by a lot of Indian culture, Chinese, somewhere over in the Asian area. It's consumed a lot. Well, of course, in China you got 1 billion people that want to drink. What are you going to drink? Here you go. But okay, so I also did a little bit more research on beer tallies in the world, which really kind of blew my mind because the top 2 I'd never heard of. And coming in at number 3, the United States reigning champion, Bud Light, at 2.5% of alcohol sales or beer sales in the world, which just sounded like a completely and totally just really low number. I mean,
it does. Yeah.
I mean, for as much money as they put into sports and all the stuff that you see Bud Light on, I don't understand how there's not more of a market for Bud Light in the world.
Well, I saw a poster. I can't remember how long ago it was. There's been a lot of beer involved. Keystone had some sort of contest, and I thought it was well done. But you had a chance to win like a college scholarship, like a sort of free ride situation, which is ironic because the amount of money we've spent on beer could fund somebody's education all in itself.
This year.
Yeah. So far.
Right. It's still early. Wait, what month is this? January?
Wednesday?
Dude, totally Wednesday. Yeah, but you can't go wrong with Keystone. I mean, Keith Stone. I mean, he was smooth. All moments are smooth with Keith Stone. But okay, so I was kind of blown away. Like I said, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 beers in the top 10 selling beers in the world that I knew: Coors Light, Heineken, Budweiser, and Bud Light. That was it. And then I also, because we don't want to just make this about beer. I mean, it's
we can't.
Alcohol has feelings too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I started looking up the alcohols, best-selling alcohols, and these are talking millions of cases. The 10th best-selling liquor in the world is, I can't even pronounce it, but it's a rum, and they sold 16.6 million cases. It's from the Philippines. Holy shit, that's a lot of liquor.
That's a lot of booze.
that is a lot of booze. Excuse me, it may be the booze talking, but I love booze. Bacardi actually came in number 9. And then Johnny Walker, Royal Stag. I mean, there's all sorts of weird liquors. So, that gets the liquors out of the way. Wine, like I said, didn't really kind of touch on it, but tomato. So then I started thinking, most people start drinking late teens, early 20s, you know. What do you do when you've got a bunch of drunken assholes in one room and you're all drinking?
You start a motherfucking band.
Okay, what's the second thing you do besides start a band?
Probably throw up.
Third thing, I guess?
Buy more beer?
Cool. Speaking of beer, will you grab me one?
Yeah.
Well, I started looking it up, and actually, what most people do when they're drinking, you know, because some people can be social and we can just sit here and bullshit, and, you know, like you and I, this is why we started the podcast, because we can sit back.
Beer behind being naked.
Right, because we can sit back, we can bullshit, drink some beer, and just, you know, we're good. But then, you know, when you're a high school kid or college kid, you kind of get bored with just talking because you're in that awkward stage in your life where you don't want to tell them about your cat Fluffy or
how you're growing hair in strange and unusual places.
Yeah, like the bottom of your toenails. But thank you, Keystone. You get bored and you start playing things and you start putting games together, and it's like, you know what? Let's make this. Let's make this into a drinking game. Fuck Monopoly regular. Let's every time you
I like
pass
how you're
go,
I see where you're going, sir.
You pass go, you had to drink a beer. You're not getting $200. You're getting shit faced. Let's do it.
I wish there was a resource, someplace that you can come up with games to play.
Right, like
if only somebody did a little bit of research while their wife was putting on makeup into this.
You know what? I think I looked a little something up. Oh, I did.
Oh shit! Do you have it written down right there?
I do.
Oh
look
shit!
At this. Okay, so I looked up the top 16 drinking games, and this is it was a random number. I mean, who the hell comes up with the number 16? We've got the most played games, but this is only the top 16. Okay.
I can guarantee I don't remember playing like all of them.
Well,
ever.
Right. Well, here's the thing: is like some of them I remember playing, but I didn't know, you know, they were a drinking game. We just made them into a drinking game, so you know, it's whatever. Like beer pong. Beer pong has come into its own in the last decade or so.
It's a fucking sport now.
I'm telling you what, man. Remember that night that we played in the beer pong tournament and got our asses handed to us by that bartender, that little short black chick?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she fucked both of us up. We didn't stand a chance against her.
I didn't see that shit coming.
She did. She's
like,
yes,
she did.
And you're out.
She's like, oh, yeah, I suppose they could play. I've never done this before.
Yeah, 5'2" of I will fuck you up.
Fucking hustler. I'm glad we didn't put money down.
Yeah, cool. What was it? If you,
I mean,
if you put in,
not to be
put
racist,
in like $20
there's a ball involved.
Right. If you put in $20 and you won $100 for the tournament. Like, we got 17 teams, and these guys come in with T-shirts made, and I was like, oh, wow.
Wow, you're enthusiastic.
Right. My wife is calling. I got to go home or drink somewhere where you're not at.
First of all, who plays beer pong with a shirt on? Not this guy. Okay, that's... I play better when I'm
gloves. Should have been wearing gloves. Remember when you reached underneath that
yeah,
vending
you're
machine?
right. Oh, I still got it.
Yeah, man, they grabbed you, jerked you out there, and bandaged you up, and your partner's out.
I think Pennywise tried to murder me that night.
Right? Didn't they take you back into a dark closet with?
They have staff that apparently, yeah, that's what they do because that
you
dude
got what?
I didn't get the staff. Because that dude scooped me up. He was like, "We've got a bleeder!" And fucking grabbed me and dragged me to some dark fucking bathroom that has a hole in the stall.
I thought you were going to get raped, but I figured, you know, at that point in your life, you were okay with it.
Fair enough.
Okay, so...
Not the dark place.
Right, that's one of them. TV movie drinking games. Have you ever played that?
Are you talking about, like, when somebody says something specific, you drink?
Yep.
I tried to think of one.
Or there was one where you put the Santa hat like up on the corner of the TV, and every time somebody's head was in the Santa hat, you had to drink. Or Star Wars, every time somebody said Force or mentioned the Force, you had to drink. Dude, you will make it through about 37 minutes before you have to go to the hospital with alcohol poisoning.
I mean, you're right. There's another one every time they said... I can't think of it. Did Jamie just Google it?
I am not going there. You're gonna get me in trouble. What other games? Quarters. Quarters is always fun.
Quarters is kind of falling off the scope, I think.
It has. I mean, it's Caps. Caps is a good one.
I don't know another person in this world that plays Caps besides our entire group of friends.
Okay, well, for those that don't know what Caps is, you take coffee cups and you put them about 10, 12 feet away from each other, and you take beer caps.
That's regulation.
Right.
For those who don't know, it's 10 to 12 feet.
And you take beer caps and you try to fling them into their coffee cup. If you make it, they got a drink.
Now you can't use one of those short glasses. Okay,
Yeah,
we're talking coffee. It has to be a coffee cup. I don't know why. Okay, I don't know the backstory. I don't know the lore. This is just the way the game's played. Don't bitch about it.
True
But
story.
you always have the handle to the back, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Turn your fucking cup. Be respectful.
Tink rule, man.
The Tink rule.
There's other games that I'd never heard of before. Stump.
What the fuck
I
is that?
don't know what the hell that was. And this one, I read about this one. This one is fucked up. I couldn't do it. I would die. It's called Edward 40 Hands. What they do is they put two 40s in your hands, and they literally tape them.
it?
They tape the 40s to your hands, and you drink them, and you have to keep them attached to your hands. So if you have to take a piss, guess what, homie? It's going to be a bitch.
That's a thing.
Yeah,
Why
right?
would you do that? That doesn't even make
Exactly.
sense. Go back to Stump. What the fuck is Stump?
I don't know. Give me a minute. We'll
Jamie,
look that up.
can we get some Google on this?
Right. Flip cup. Remember that one where you try to, you got to flip you got to drink you got to swig it and then try to flip it upside down.
Okay,
Yeah.
the drinking game Stump will take your tailgate to the next level. 1, if a player pulls off a trick, the fuck? Pulls off a trick flip with the hammer.
Oh, yeah, that's what
Oh,
it
okay.
was. You got to like try to flip a hammer. Yeah.
Like a
because hammer,
720-degree rotation or a behind-the-back toss.
Yeah, so that sounds like a great idea.
This is some dwarven
I tell you
ass shit.
Let's drink and throw inanimate objects that have a head and teeth on it. Why not just juggle fucking squirrels or, a
That'd be
beaver?
dope.
Yeah,
That
whatever.
would be dope.
It's whatever. Rage Cage. Not sure what that one is either. And then the Great American Challenge. The Great American Challenge, I was kind of reading that one. I was like, Great American Challenge? What the fuck? So I started looking in that one, and I started reading, and there was like 700 rules. I was like, psh, I'm already out. But now, what about the great ones? Oh, wait, hold on. The Rage Cage drinking is very similar to Chandelier's Ball and Cup and Slap Cup. The game begins with backwards 3, 2, 1 countdown. After 1, the 2 players on the pong. It's okay, so it's kind of like playing beer pong. Yeah, whatever. I remember the good games. Remember Jerry's Kids?
Vaguely. And I just played it like this year, so.
Right, where you take 3 shot glasses of whatever alcohol you want, and then somebody has to roll doubles on dice before you take the 3 shots.
This sounds like a simplistic game, but there's so many fine layers to it.
But you know what? It is the most racist game ever because black people can throw dice, and those motherfuckers are the ones that they're the ones that want you to play that game, and you will fucking crawl out.
Well, that night I called you,
And they want to bet money on it. I'm like,
Oh, they
Just
didn't
take
know
my wallet.
See,
Just take it now.
luckily,
I'm
this
done.
was their first time playing. I called you. I'm like, what in the fuck is the name of this game? I can't remember. And you're like, it's Jerry Kids. I'm like, yeah, that's what we're playing. We're playing Jerry's Kids. And so I've got Curtis, who has gold teeth, next to me on my right, and then Mahaney, which I call him Darkness. He's like the whitest black dude I've ever met, but that's beside the point.
Right.
I had him here and him here. And we started the game, and the last thing I remember saying is "fuck New Orleans." Lights out.
Why
And I
fuck New
woke up in my
Orleans?
own bed, which was about 45 minutes away. I was telling the story about when I got shot at. I didn't get shot at. I was involved in a firefight. I actually had. It's a thing. It was 45 seconds into me going, "Hey, we're here." People shooting at each other in the street. Fucking yeah, it was
You know what? That's a story you've never told me before.
Really?
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, we went there, and we're in a fight, okay, as the normal standing of me and Brittany, and she's got her luggage, and she is going for the hotel, okay? She is pumped, she's amped, and she's going. Jonathan is behind her, and so is Dalton. They've got their respective shit. I've got my shit. And then we hear gunshots, and then people are coming into this lobby of this garage that we're at. And I'm like, oh shit, they're fucking firing on us, and I'm like, everybody get down. Jonathan literally looks like he's lost. He's like doing the whole, like, I can't find my keys. Where's my keys sort of run in the middle of the lobby. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Just get down. And so they go into this like hallway. I start to go out there and I'm like, oh, I don't have my pistol on me. I left it in the car, which was dumb anyway, because I'm sure it could get stolen out of that. So I like run, haul ass to the elevator, and then I get in the elevator and it's like, doom, 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 doom. Like all the way up to the second floor, and then I get out of the elevator and start running to my car. I get the pistol, I put it back in my pants, and I fucking
longest trip to a second floor I've ever heard.
Oh, dude, it was ridiculous. Then I get the pistol, then I run back to the elevator and get back in it, and it's bing, and then I'm like running out. I like get out there and I've got my pistol and I'm like looking around this pillar, and then I'm like, holy shit, I'm in fucking Louisiana. This shit is not my problem. I put my pistol back in my pants. I go grab my luggage. End of story.
That's a cool story, bro. You should start telling that at stories.
Oh,
you should start telling that at parties
and
while
then
drinking.
I found $10.
Well, that covered what 1/30th of your fucking hotel bill.
Yeah, it was pretty expensive. It was right off the French Quarter.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't know
that's
I've
where
never
our
been
hotel
there.
was. That was what the fight was about. I'm like, why the fuck are we here? I asked you. No, you didn't specifically. I would have known because I'd been like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah, the French Quarter is pretty expensive. That's like staying at the Trump Hotel in New York.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean there's not 300 other fucking hotels? 4 blocks away, they're a third of the price. Yeah, whatever.
So, Jerry's Kids.
Jerry's
the black
Kids.
people fucked me up on that.
Yep.
And then they called me dumb all the next day because they're like, you dumb sack of shit. Why would you bring a dice game over? You want to put money on it next time? I'm like, this isn't craps, motherfucker. I almost died.
Yep.
Everybody saw my penis.
And? Who hasn't?
Oh, yeah. Go on.
Okay. Other alcoholic games. Let's see. Power Hour. See, I'm pretty sure that the Power Hour that this game is saying is probably not the same Power Hour that I did. Remember that night you got that DUI that I had to run back to the house that I drank an entire 30-pack in an hour without pissing? Because Joe, I can't remember.
Oh,
what his
yeah.
name was.
Okay. Over at Joe's?
Yeah, but the guy that bet me was named Joe as well. I drank an entire 30-pack without pissing in an hour. I thought that's what Power Hour was. Apparently, that's not what it is. Somebody lied
you
to
did
my
that for
ass.
no reason?
Oh, and I had to pee. Dude, I think I pissed for like 5 minutes straight. I may still have some of that beer left in my bladder from that. I mean, that was a horrible, horrible idea. Children, do not try this game at home or anywhere for that matter.
Yeah, you want to do a challenge, just eat a Tide Pod or something.
Right. It's totally safer.
That was a joke. I feel like we should mention that. That was a joke. Don't do that. Don't eat fucking... Why do I even have to say that there's a warning label on the motherfucker? Read. Learn to read. That's what you should take away from this conversation.
Anything that cleans your clothes or can take the rust off of your fucking bumper, do not ingest it. It doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist.
It's safe on colors, though.
Yeah, but we're white.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're fucked.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's here's another one that I thought was interesting. Boxing. I don't know about you, but seriously, when I am drinking, the last thing I want to do is get punched in the fucking face.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It happens more time than you think. You know what I'm saying?
It does. Not lately. I've been pretty good about it. I mean, you almost got us killed, but
I brought it back down.
yeah, well, you told a guy that's like 6 fucking stories tall that you wanted him to punch you in the face instead of punching this other guy that was almost the same size that probably would have stood a pretty good chance. I don't think he would have caught as big ass whipping as we would have.
I don't think so either.
You could have shot him though. I mean, I wouldn't have said nothing.
Well, yeah.
It's a biker bar. I think it's
easy. I don't ever go the easy route.
Right. That's true. That's true. Well, I think it's being a biker bar. It's standard to have somebody at least shot once a weekend.
So weird since we don't have bikes.
Right. But hey,
their bars are a lot cooler. So I mean,
right. You don't have the stuck up snooty. I'm better than you because I'm drinking $14 fucking drinks. How about them drinks last night? Jesus, a beer and one drink, $18.61. Yeah. Don't ever fucking let my wife talk us into that again.
Oh shit. Well, you had half of some free vouchers, so I mean,
yeah, I'm pretty sure that he ran the
I
same
covered
card
alcohol.
twice.
That was it. Yeah,
right.
I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure he ran the same card twice. He kind of looked like one of those scandalous fucks. Excuse me, sir. Your card did not go through. Motherfucker, it was a gift card. The hell
it did. Would you like me
to
call you a cab? I'll call you a cocksucker.
Try shaving your whole face next time, you fucking cock-nosed penis face. Okay, so now that we've gotten through the games and whatnot, because we can talk about games all day, Circle of Death. I mean, that was another one that...
We're going to have a separate episode for Circle of Death, because what I'd really like to dive into is, are rules based off of region? Are they based off of...
House rules. House rules. It's always house rules.
I know. We need to explore this.
Yeah, but you can sit there and you can argue it all day long, and it's a pointless argument. It's like arguing with a woman.
Yeah, well,
You've already lost. You've already lost, bro.
Like, you take more time talking about it.
Shh, drink your beer. Drink your beer. Drink your beer. Let me tell you the house rules. Blah, 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 blah. And that's how you play.
Yeah. There's
that's
like a 10-minute intro.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally every time you play that fucking game.
And nobody ever remembers until you have the cards laid out. You're like, oh, hold on.
Right.
What's going on here?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like, it makes me wonder if there are things that we don't even know about. Like,
God, I hope
people
so.
in California, do they have, like, shit,
They don't play Circle of Death out there.
Oh, yeah.
It's too close to the Ring of Fire. I mean, they are on the Ring of Fire. They are in the Ring of Fire, so they don't want to play anything like that.
Like if you draw a jack, do you have to go shit in the street? Like, what are the rules? I mean...
I think you got to shit in the street anyways in California, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Unless you're in... Well, I mean, there's, 60,000 homeless people, so there's shit everywhere anyway, so nobody would notice. It's whatever. Okay, so... Let's kind of get away from the drinking games, because we could sit here and literally talk about that for the next...
4 days, easy.
5 days, whatever. So alcohol, it has its pluses and its negatives, blah, blah, blah. All right, the negatives.
Yeah, health concerns.
The negatives,
blah.
right. Well, I'm not really worried about the health concerns. Well, kind of. All right, so everybody says that drinking and driving, blah, 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 kills X amount of people. Okay, so I did a little research on this. Worldwide, there are 3 million deaths worldwide annually, and it only makes up for 5.3% of all deaths in the world. So... I'm not understanding how it's the greatest evil. But now, here's another deal. So, drinking and driving is illegal.
Real quick, can you do a fact check for us, Miss Jamie? How many marijuana-related driving deaths are there? I just wanted a quick comparison.
Well, can I ask you a question, though?
Yeah.
Now... There's a difference between a DWI and a DUI, right?
Yeah.
So one's driving under the influence, one's driving while intoxicated.
Correct.
So driving under the influence could be any kind of narcotics or...
Yeah, and most of it is pills.
Right. Because pills are way safer than alcohol.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, they're put out by the big
pharmaceutical
pharma.
companies?
Big
Oh,
pharma. Almost dropped the N word.
Nudicles?
That's exactly it.
Pharmaceuticals? Narcotics. It was narcotics, wasn't it? Okay, so that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, that's unrelated. I just
Right,
Correct.
exactly. Okay, so why do bars have parking lots if drinking and
That's-
driving is illegal?
I saw that you had jotted that down there, and I'm really wondering why. It sounds like you could. I mean, because accidents happen. You go to a bar, you're expecting only one drink.
Who the hell goes to a bar for one drink? If I
That's-
want one drink, I'm drinking at home.
But
It's a hell of a
30-pack
lot
later,
cheaper.
you're fucking a goat in your neighbor's lawn at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then you find out it's not even a real one. It's an inflatable one.
It was only 3 times, and I don't remember it, so it didn't happen. Okay. Let's look at some other. Let's look at some urban legends about drinking. The last sip of a beer. Everybody, not everybody, but there's a lot of people that will not drink the last sip of a beer. Do you know why? You know what the logic is? It's all backwash. It is actually an urban legend. Because there is nobody that has that much saliva in their mouth at one time. Because as you take a drink, the saliva is being washed down your throat. So a lot of it would be just nothing but beer anyways. But if you're 21 years old, because that's the legal drinking age, if you're 21 years old and by now you don't know how to fucking drink without spitting back in your drink, you need to go back to fucking elementary school.
I know parents that will drink after their kid.
Not me. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I love my kids and all, but man, they take a drink of my water, shit's floating in it, and it's like, nope, I am not that thirsty.
I watched a small child eat most of a pizza and then just started mouth fucking the crust, just like there's spit all over it, and then they threw it down on the plate, and then the parent was like, "Oh, honey, I'll eat that," and then ate it. I don't give a fuck if you're mine or not. That's fucking gnarly. I wouldn't even do it if I did it.
No.
Oh,
I don't trust myself the morning after. Like, if I made a pizza and drunkenly ate most of it and then put it back in the refrigerator and it looks suspect, not doing it. Not doing it. Man, drunk me is an asshole. Drunk me and sober me are two different people. I don't trust drunk me. Drunk me, that guy has fucked me over more times than once.
Preach it.
Thank you. My wife's flipping me off. He has gotten me in more trouble than anything I could ever have done on my sober side. So, yeah, it is what it is. All right. So, that last little sip, there's two different terms that people have used for that last sip over millennia. Sorry. I just went totally snowflake. Okay. So, the dregs. I don't know if you've ever heard that term before. The dregs are the last bit of sediment that settles at the bottom of the bottle. The dregs is basically like with your wheat beer. Your wheat beer has dregs. And that is actually a biblical term.
It's bougie ass beer. So, yeah, probably.
That's cool. There's some not bougie ass beer.
Yeah,
in there. Right.
What?
Don't drink ass juice.
Ass juice?
So there's the dregs, which is sediment, or lees, which is the yeast particles that fall to the very bottom. Now, I also looked into another urban. Will you grab me one too, please? I looked into another urban legend. When you're at a bar and you have a mixed drink, I know we don't have mixed drinks very often because it's expensive as fuck, and I don't want to be roofied by some 400-pound gorilla that wants to name me Mary and put things in my
Well, it's not
orifices.
prison jam. Well, I mean, we have been.
I've been roofied, and it's not pretty. I've thrown up my toenails, and I have expelled my bowels, if you will, because of it, because it just totally tore me up on the inside. Okay, so the bar lore is the last drink of a mixed drink is the strongest. Now, just psychologically, I mean, I can't wrap my head around that, because if you think about it, you've had a drink that had ice in it that has been sitting there, and as alcohol sits out and it's open, I mean,
It
evaporates, and then you've got, there's many different chemical reactions that are happening at the same time. And if you've sat there long enough for your ice to melt, your drink to be, my wife wouldn't know about that. When she gets it, she gets it. But true player right there.
True player.
So by the time you get to the last drink, if you ain't drinking it, I mean, it's watered down liquor. And so, but why do people think that it's the strongest? Because when you take that last sip, sometimes you're like, eyeball twitches, you go Forrest Whitaker-eyed, like, I'll have another one.
I'm thinking that the last drink is wateriest because the ice factor. It's the same. Well. Yeah, for the first drink is the one where you're like, that just kicked me in the fucking dick. What did you put in the son of a bitch? Me and Shelly went to the Flying Horse. Not to name drop the Flying Horse, but if you want to get fucked up, go to that son of a bitch.
What the hell's a Flying Horse?
It's like a resort sort of like hotel situation, and they have their own restaurant there. And so we went there, and what?
Oh, what was that? Oh God, what was that place out in Independence? They used to have their own brewery, and they were it had its own brewery, and it was a restaurant. That shit. I mean, you walk in there, and there's just giant tanks, and they're like, we have a carafe of all the different beers that we make. Would you like to try it? Yeah. Of course
That's what I came here for, motherfucker.
Why are you asking stupid questions,
Let's
man?
get it turned. Well, we went to the Flying Horse in Colorado, and
now I got a location.
Location, yes. You're not going to get cell reception there. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's like overlooking the mountains. It's like just devoid.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you don't need your phone other than to take pictures, so it's irrelevant. But we ordered. I've never had absinthe, okay, and I'm stoked about that. But they don't have the I wanted the little cup, the little slitted spoon that you put on the top of it, the sugar. God. I want to do the whole
Light
thing.
It on fire,
Yeah,
I've done that.
Not an option, but I'll take.
Just give you a shot of it.
They would give me a shot of it, but what's the fun in that?
Well, see, I used to have the glass that you actually it had the spoon that was over the top of it, and you put the sugar cube on it, and then you actually you take water because you mix it with water because it tastes like straight licorice butthole.
Yeah.
So you take water, you pour it over, and then you dump the absinthe over the sugar cube, drop the sugar cube in, mix it up, and then you take that drink like that. Now, one or two drinks of it is okay because it's like 198 proof. But when you drink 3/4 of a fifth of it, you are going to see the Doors playing a show in your basement when you got your vinyl playing. I'm not condoning drinking almost a fifth of it. It's not a good idea, kids. Stay in school.
Well, we got these drinks, and I took the first sip, and I thought it was just the absinthe. I'm like, this tastes like straight ass. And
it's like Goldschlager. Wrong German beer. Jägermeister on crack. It's like Jägermeister with balls. Yeah,
dude, I didn't finish it. I got about halfway down, and I looked at Shelly. I'm like, we gotta go because I'm about to cause a scene. I don't know how or why. But I feel like fucking something up. So we got to get the fuck out of here. And I tried hers. She had like a basic sort of rum and coke situation going on. And I took a sip of hers. And it was like the Flying Horse saith to me, if you will, ye does not just need one kick in the dick. We're going to have to get the second ball involved in this. And it destroyed my sanity, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to the fucking hotel room now.
I'm gonna go home now. I'm gonna die."
Yeah, but I was done for the rest of the day drinking. It was fucked up.
Like I said, I drank, because there's two different styles. One has wormwood, one doesn't, and they say that depending, some say that the wormwood fucks you up. Some say it doesn't. I guess it would really depend on your tolerance. I mean, because it does have a hallucinogenic property in it, but
It's
so
very
does
slight,
THC.
though.
So I mean, yeah, but it's at 198 proof, and you drink 3/4 of a fifth of it. Actually, no, I'd say it was more than that because I got my ass chewed because there was like maybe like an inch and a half left in the bottle, and it's it was a bad deal.
Well, okay, absinthe. What happened with that is there was a disease going through the grapevines at the time. It was early 1800s. The grape company took a nosedive, and people still wanted to drink. There's no grapes. What the fuck are we going to do? I don't know why beer wasn't an option. I have no idea. But so they started distilling absinthe, and they made it pretty cheap. And when the grapes came back, nobody gave a fuck. Because they're like, oh, no, this is... And I don't know why, because absinthe, it tastes like black licorice ate itself and then took a shit and then shit out that shit and then became absinthe. But like they were like, no, we don't want any part of this. So we have a real reefer madness vibe going on here because...
Right. But, well, here's the deal. Okay. So if you're a drunk or an alcoholic or whatever, you don't want to be fucking having a drink all day to get to that point, because an alcoholic drinks to get drunk. That it is what it is. Now, if you could take a shortcut, we ain't going through the woods to get to grandma's house. I mean,
why don't we just drive there, bro?
Right.
Pull it up on maps.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hey Google, can you give me grandma's house?
Over the hills we go.
Yeah, fuck your
through
hills.
the woods.
We're gonna dig a tunnel through the hills. That's how we're getting to grandma's next time, motherfucker. All right, so did a little bit more research. Ding, ding, ding.
Further down the rabbit hole we go.
Yep. Okay, so I already mentioned the 3 million deaths. Blah blah blah. What do you think the alcoholic's life expectancy is for a man?
45.
Close.
50. I'm going to change it to 50.
50? Oh, well, you're right dead smack. I mean, dead nuts in the center. Alcoholic's life expectancy for a man is 47 to 53.
Oh, very nice.
Very, very nice.
Sad, but nice.
Right.
Because I was right, and I'm selfish.
Right. Oh, well, I got family members that need to watch out because I know they drink a lot. Probably not. Try not to call them out as alcoholics, but we drink a lot. So, it is what it is. Love you, Dad. Women, what do you think the life expectancy of an alcoholic woman is?
It depends. Do they have their driver's license? Unrelated fact, really.
Yeah,
y'all can't drive. Jamie, you've almost murdered me twice when I was in the car with you driving. I'm just saying. I didn't die.
But you were close. Women drivers, no
I was
survivors.
all over that back seat.
Whole
I was
nother
wearing
story.
a seatbelt.
How's that deer?
It was probably a chick too. So
Ooh. Too bad you didn't get to shoot it
no, it
yourself.
had the things on its head.
The things on its head.
I'm a hunter. It's no big deal. Anyway,
Okay, women. Life expectancy for an alcoholic woman, this is bullshit, 50 to 58. 3 to 5 years.
Jamie just gave a victory dance. Like,
Did she just do the suck it?
Yeah.
Good Lord. She's throwing out the lady dick. Take this lady dick.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, okay, so alcoholics actually have a 24 to 28 year lower life expectancy than general population, which, like I said before, sounds like a prison term.
It does.
I mean, if I'm stuck in Gen Pop, I'm gonna want to go 24 to 28 years earlier, anyways. Life sentence.
Bring
Alcohol,
her the
please.
toilet water.
Liquor, please. Okay, so I had a few questions. I've been there for a few of them, I know,
Oh, fuck.
but we'll see what kind of stories we can get out of this one. What do you think the drunkest you have ever been? Loaded question, I know.
Yeah, it's a totally loaded question.
There's-
Because I don't know. I wasn't there for it. You know what I mean? I was there, but I wasn't.
Right.
By that time, I have way blacked out.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. You woke up the next morning, and you were still all...
That weird, like, I can't find my center of gravity. I'm about to upchuck at any moment. And whose clothes are these?
Right.
Yeah.
And who is that dude that's laying in my bed? I kid, I love you. No, there's been mornings that you and I have woke up in the same bed, still fully dressed. One of us is on top of the covers, the other one's under the covers, and like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, we didn't even do hand stuff, everybody. I was just letting you know. No hand
Well,
stuff.
it might have, but only under the clothes.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we said no homo. So
No homo.
no homo.
Okay. Yeah, I think mine was a 4th of July about 11 years ago. All I know is that there was 4 or 5 fifths involved, and then I slept on an air conditioning vent for about 3 days afterwards. I'm pretty sure I had alcohol poisoning. I couldn't,
you mean
I
the
couldn't throw up.
Like, are you talking about the vent on like a floor, or are you talking about outside?
on the floor?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was bad. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. I wanted to throw up. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't stay awake. I couldn't stand up without trying to fall down. It was bad. All I remember,
You just nailed that whole feeling the next day, where you can't sleep, but you can't stay awake either.
right? And then you feel like death. And then my stomach was. I mean, it left with my liver. I think they were watching TV in the other room, and it was, oh God. But I've also had other times where I've gotten so drunk that I've fallen off of people's roofs, broken ribs, walked 5 miles in the middle of the night, or 7 miles in the middle of the night because I was mad at somebody over something I did. So it was drugs are bad. Okay. Yeah. So, conceived children that I don't remember. Yeah, I've had.
Fuck.
Yeah, my bad.
Daddy's little mistake. Who's Daddy's little mistake?
Whoa. Come on now. Still paying child
I mean,
support.
I thought it was funny because it didn't happen to me.
Yeah.
So
How the hell did you end up not impregnating somebody?
what I do is I just push people down the stairs at random. So
Tied in a knot.
yeah.
All right.
Oof.
Well, I was going to ask what's the worst mistake you've ever made while drunk, but I'm pretty sure my wife just pointed out mine. Thanks, Jamie.
Damn. Ooh. Shit. I mean, the worst mistake, I have many. Many a mistake has been made
While drinking.
while drinking. I remember being in the Blue Moon.
Oh, Jesus. How do you fucking remember that? We went day drinking.
Because
Okay,
I wasn't...
no, I'm going to tell this one because you're drunk ass. All right, now you tell the first half. I'll tell the last half. Go ahead.
Okay.
Tell what you remember because I want to.
Oh, I remember. See, that's the thing. I wasn't drunk so much as sleepwalking. What had happened was we got our drink on. Maybe it was excessive. Who am I to decide? You know what I'm saying?
You weren't driving. It's
That's
cool.
for my peers to decide. So anyway,
In a court of law.
I started feeling super tired. And I remember, which this is a thing with me, falling asleep at the table. Then I woke up, but I was not at that table.
Yeah, what table were you at, Karen?
There wasn't so much a table involved as a computer in the back room.
Yeah, the
apparently,
manager's room or the manager's office.
with 4 or 5 of my friends telling me to get the fuck out, and me being like, I don't even know what I'm doing in here.
Do you know what you did to that computer, by the way?
I was reminded later on.
Yeah, you pissed on the computer. You pissed on her screen, her keyboard.
Did you see it?
I could smell it. The whole fucking bar could smell it. It smelled like
Maybe they did
It smelled like a fucking Clydesdale had taken a piss. in
I
it, dude.
mean, maybe they did it. I don't know. You didn't see it. How am I supposed to know? I was too shit. I mean,
I
was
had to
asleep.
button and zip your pants.
It was very rude of you guys to wake me up. I'm just
It
saying.
wasn't us that woke you up. It was the manager that.
No, it was you guys standing at the door going, what are you doing? Get out of here. And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Where am I?
She threw us out.
And then entered the gray-haired manager who, yeah.
Well, that's okay. So we'll say you've had a bit of a problem with pissing in people's houses. like a lake house pissing in a corner, or somebody's aunt's house, or
I still don't know that one. I was too busy shooting cashews. No, I'm not gonna say that. Just
shooting piss in people's corners,
and swimming.
or swimming at 2:00 in the morning with minors and trying to teach them how to steal gargoyles off of people's docks at the lake.
He did a phenomenal job, though. I mean, I'm very proud of the kid. That was a very long swim. Okay, and he
Was
put
it a
in
swim
effort.
or a drag? Did he drag you over there, or
No, I pushed the boat.
a boat?
What
fucking
are you
boat
doing with
did
the
you take?
oars? An inner tube. That's
I was
what
about
meant.
to say, you get-
boat,
how
inner
the
tube,
hell-
whatever.
What the
Flotation device.
titties?
I mean, we went stealth mode. I mean, like, it was a very quiet swim. Like, we were Navy SEALs, and we jacked. No, we didn't, because it was chained to the dock. We got all the way there, and that bitch was chained. Like, they didn't trust people.
I'm just flabbergasted by that. I couldn't imagine why somebody would not trust people with their lawn ornaments and whatnot on their docks outside. I mean, it couldn't just be the waves. You know, the waves wouldn't just knock it over and
Well,
drop it in the water. But, you know, it's...
how long ago was that? That was like, I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations has dissolved by now. I'm pretty sure it was.
7 years, 8, 9. Fuck,
It's
I don't
taken
know.
me 9 years to wonder how the fuck we were going to get that gargoyle back, because that bitch was huge and would sink.
No. Remember,
Sink the inner tube.
Okay. Speaking of gargoyles, remember the time I got that griffin?
Yeah.
How that... I don't even remember where it came from, but that griffin
It
weighed
took
like...
4 of us to put it in the back of the truck.
But I grabbed it and ran with it by myself.
Yeah, you did.
How in the hell...
We could lift it, but yeah, like you ended up. I don't know. Drunk straight.
I grabbed
as a bitch.
it by myself, and then I'm like, "Hey guys, you want to help me get this?" And then there's 4 of us. I broke its wing, and then it is what it is. It may be sitting in front of somebody else's house now. I don't have it.
Statute
that's
of
for sure.
limitations is already over for that.
Yeah, statute of limitations. That's like 15 years ago.
Everybody does dumb shit
No,
when they're a kid.
no, God, I was still in the band then.
It was 1974. Everybody.
No, I was still in the band. That was 2000, 2001? God. That was forever ago. Don't let me do that shit again. Well, it's not as bad as the night that we got all fucked up and yeah. Oh yeah. I was just reminded of something. Like the night that I jumped out of the hot tub naked because Brad and were doing it, so that was.
Can you
jumped.
describe the atrocity? Because I don't know who you're talking about. I mean, I've seen.
Okay, so if
Some
you
of the
took
chicks
like
Brad
let's see, Brad was in pretty good shape. So I mean, you got but then the other one kind of looked like Stretch Armstrong if you squished it together and then pulled it apart and squished it together. So. And there was flaps of meat that
made flaps.
is scary shit. So I jumped out, and then somehow or another, my naked ass brought home a cross, a radar detector. There was a little cop gnome, which the officer came back and found it at our house, so he took it home with him. Thank you, officer. I'm not going to say your last name, but thank you, officer. Yeah, but I'm not the only one that brought home stupid shit. Like the time you brought home the mushroom.
That's a very valid find.
That was
It was-
not.
it was
It wasn't
very
even a
unique.
fucking mushroom, you dick. It was somebody had a bird bath and they flipped it upside down for the winter.
What do I
And
know
it's-
about bird baths, bro? Do I look like the type of motherfucker that has birds? No.
Who the fuck has a mushroom in their front yard?
People that have yard gnomes. Where do they live? In
Not
a
in a-
mushroom.
What is this?
What the
fucking David the
fuck?
gnome? What
It
the?
could be. Shit, it's your world. I'm just living in it, bro. I see a mushroom, I took it.
Whatever happened
in
to
the
that thing?
dead of fucking? I don't know.
I don't remember what happened to the griffin either.
I don't remember what happened to like 90%.
Dude,
right
I
of
came
the
home with
nut.
some weird shit while drinking. Like
The right of the nut.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I was so proud because I didn't. I mean,
Wasn't
the
the night we
sun's
thought
already
there was like a
down.
drum set on that church? lot,
Yes.
and we ended up with the weirdest shit, and then I ended up winning tickets to Slayer that night on the radio.
Yes. We had the knee pads. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where you kneel down to pray.
Yeah, kneel down.
Great for blowjobs.
Giving or receiving.
Great for blowjobs.
Well, that's where we... I don't know where the hell Steve came from. I think he came from a neighbor's house, though. Because we had this little gargoyle. He was no more than maybe, 10, 12 inches tall.
You're starting it like some sort of fairy tale. We had a gargoyle once. He was no bigger than perhaps.
Oh, when we
13
caught
inches.
him, he is a wee little loss. He's about yay tall. He's a little guy. He's heavy, made out of rock, some kind of stone. Don't
And that
know.
motherfucker had been through.
Dude, that motherfucker.
We Van Gogh'd him.
Oh, God.
Remember the Van Gogh incident with the golf club?
Fucking Fat Pat.
Yeah.
And then he got an ear chopped off with a hatchet when somebody was trying to sacrifice a beer to the beer god.
Yep.
And then we had that Aaron guy come in. He's like, I don't believe in anything but Jesus, and Jesus is the only God. And I was like, dude, then you're in
Cool
the wrong.
story, bro.
You're in the wrong fucking
Yeah.
garage, bro. We're not sacrilegious. We're just fucking here to hang out and drink some beers and pour some beer on this guy. Because every time we pour a beer on this gargoyle, we don't get in trouble. So call us sacrilegious, whatever it is.
I'm not even sure if that's true.
I'm not
I'm pretty
either.
sure by the time we got in trouble, we just didn't remember it because we were all fucked up.
Right. Hey, man, who didn't pour beer on Steve?
All right, far out.
Funyuns. Yeah, there's been a couple few other incidences that like Joe falling off the roof when we told him not to get on the roof.
That was the funniest shit I've ever seen. He landed
bounced.
fucked up, dude.
Yeah, he bounced.
Half
I'm pretty
in the
sure
fucking
his
hot
foot
tub.
was in his ass. He's like, "Hey, I broke something." I'm like, "Yep," and I am not leaving. So, yeah, Joe was on his own.
What?
Lone Jack. What about Lone Jack?
One simply
the
does
hell?
not speed through Lone Jack. That's all I
No,
know.
you do not. You do not speed through Lone Jack. Oh, that wasn't. No, yeah, that was not Lone Jack. Okay, so my wife is reminding me of a drunken story. Don't drink and drive, children. It is not okay. It is not appropriate. You will get fucked up. So there was an evening. We went to a buddy's birthday party. It was in November, and it was at a park in the area that we are. I'm not going to mention it because I don't want to incriminate. I may or may not have drank 2 handles of vodka. Been so drunk that somebody bet us $20 we wouldn't jump in this pond. It's November 4th. I jumped in the pond with just a pair of blue jeans on. I get out of the pond, and there is a fire burning. A huge fire. They have a log. Not like a little log. They have a fucking tree on fire. My stupid ass climbs up on the tree to warm up because I'm freezing because it's November 4th. It's cold as fuck. I catch on fire. Somebody has to tackle me out of there. They put my clothes back on me, and they throw me in the back of the bass player at the time's car. I'm passed out. I'm done. I've drank a fucking gallon of vodka. I'm done. I should be dead. About 3 hours later, apparently we were in the parking lot of Taco Bell, and they were eating, and they were complaining about they couldn't drive home, so my drunk ass sits up. How's the drive? I'm good. They gave me the fucking keys. So we were only about 10 blocks from home. I'm like, all right, if I can just close one eye, I'm gonna get home. I made it about 8 blocks out of the 10 before we got pulled over by 6 cops. Apparently, these dickheads had been pulled over twice before and didn't tell me that they had been pulled over. That's why they didn't want to drive.
I think it's great that Jamie doesn't have a microphone.
I do too. I'd be in some. So after we get pulled over, I'm like, well, I'm going to jail. So I turn the car off, throw the keys up on the fucking dashboard. Cop gets me out. He says, son, where are you going? Sir, I'm going to the top of the hill. He goes, where you been tonight? Well, I was at home, sir. I was sick, and I've drank 2 bottles of NyQuil, and these assholes said that if they got pulled over again, they were going to jail. So I came and got them. My mom just went home after she dropped me off with them. I'm just trying to get to the top of the hill. The officer says, I'll follow you home.
Can I get a fact check on this, Jamie?
Yeah, no. The bad thing is because I was so fucked up still. I fall out of the car after we let the cops pass us. I fall out of the car. I lose a shoe. I make it to my front porch, and I pass out. They throw my trench coat over the top of me. It snowed 4 inches that night. I wake up to 4 inches of snow on top of me. I'm fucking freezing my nuts off. I go inside, and these 2 cocksuckers are in my fucking bed sleeping. They couldn't have even dragged my ass up 4 fucking stairs. No, I would have kicked you in the fucking nuts. They couldn't drag my ass up 4 fucking stairs to put me inside so I wouldn't freeze to death. Yeah, and I found my shoe the next day.
Was Piggy involved in this?
Yeah.
Fucking I knew it. That dude's a dick bag. I mean, because there was another night that I can't even fucking tell you what happened. I was drinking. I know that. But I had caused a scene of sorts.
Say it ain't so.
I know. I can't remember what the scene entailed. I just know that Piggy pulled up to your house, threw me in the front yard, and then just drove off. I woke up face down on your I combat crawled, I think, to your front door, but couldn't make it any further.
You know what? I could see that because you've done some things where I've done the same thing to you. I love you, but well, I mean, you're not the worst of all the people we partied with. You were definitely not the worst. There was one that was worse. He who shall not be named.
Dude, I had to get him out of a car once. Ending of the story, I was covered in urine and it wasn't mine for a change.
Yeah, I had to send him home from a bar one time because he threw shots, and the lead singer of the band that was opening or closing that night, they were headlining, he threw shots in their face, and then he decided that he wanted to fight, but he ain't got enough ass to back it up. So my girlfriend,
I can't imagine him fighting. That'd be an ugly scenario to find myself in.
It's fucking murder. So the girl I was dating at the time took him home. He goes back to my house. I told him, do not sleep in my bed. Do not sleep in my bed. He slept in my bed, pissed in my fucking bed, got up after he realized he pissed in my bed, put on my dress shoes, which are about 2 sizes bigger than his, and he walked 5 miles home in my fucking dress shoes. I called him the next day. I'm like, look, you little motherfucker.
So you walked a mile in your shoes?
He walked like 5 miles in my shoes.
I believe that he could judge you now, so you might want to watch what you're saying.
Nah. He can go fuck himself.
I mean, he also did set fire to your basement once.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I bet your mom didn't.
When he flicked a lit cigarette in the... Well, no, he did it a couple times. He flicked a lit cigarette in the in my closet. Mm-hmm. And then he also... We had that ashtray in the bedroom that he started a fucking small... pizza box.
Was it a pizza box? I thought it was a 20. I thought it was one of the 20
It was one
packs.
of those fucking cookie tins. Remember those old cookie tins that you always thought had cookies in it, but it always had sewing shit in it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was one of those, and he started burning a fucking pizza box in it. And then,
that's where the pizza box is.
Next thing you know, he went up the stairs and grabbed the smoke alarm off the wall.
It just tore it off the wall.
Threw it down, smashed it on the floor, and then next thing I know, I'm in trouble. And
yeah, that's fucked up.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. All right, kids, moral of the story, do not drink ever.
Yeah, it's bad.
You're going to do dumb shit. All right, well, we need to wrap this up. I got half a bottle of Cavassier left, and it's time for me to go urinate, so I got to go.
Urine.
I love to talk dirty.
I love it when you sing to me, R. Kelly.
No.
Oh, wait, I'm too old now.
Yeah, you are. Fuck. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a fun event. This is the Drunken Ramblings of a Sober Mind. I am Jimmy.
I'm Garen.
And we will see you next time around.
Later, Tater.